Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the settings that got me to champion rank. Let's go over to settings. My camera settings, I have 110 field of view. Well, first of all, I have camera shake off because if you have it on, you're a noob. I have field of view 110 because 109, anything lower feels weird. Then I have distance 280 because 270, I've been used to it, but I think I gotten too used to it to where it feels too close. I might switch back, I might not, who knows. Um, so yeah, 280 feels really nice for me right now. My height is 90 degrees because 100 just feels like it feels too high for me. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. And then 80 is just like I'm I'm like laying on the ground. And then I have it at 5, so it's still like I can still look a little bit over my car, but not so much. And I'm still like a little bit down from my angle in a way, but not so much. I don't think I explained that very well. My stiffness is 45. Swivel speed is 6.8 because I like being able to look around pretty fast. And my transition speed is 1.70 because it's like it's the difference between snappy and not snappy. Um, and then my demo transition time is 0. Preview spawn transition time 0. Preview spawn change transition time 0, and infant swivel is off. Those just demo transition time is whenever you get demoed, you could see your spawn faster. So if you have it at 0, 0.0, there's like no delay. And same thing with preview, spawn transition time. Those basically like it's in the name. So it's at the fast. My steering sensitivity is at 10. My aerial sensitivity is at 10 because I'm like a CCH slash freestyler. So it gives me more range of motion. But if you're not at if you're not comfortable using this high sensitivity but you want to be able to, I'd say start with like mid-range sense and move it up like a little bit. So like let's say you start at 520. Move it up by 2 to 620 and then 820 and then 10. And same with aerial and steering. And then these are at 0 and I'll tell you why in a second. And then I don't use control vibration because it's just not good. And then I don't play keyboard and mouse, so these are all off. And then my interface, here are my interface settings. I'm not going to really go through these. Streamer, my video settings, okay. I put on full screen just because FPS boost. And the texture detail, high performance, performance, low intensity. Um, and I have these all off because the simpler it is, the better, but you also want to have a little bit of good quality, so that's why these are this. And then render quality, you want to have it on high quality because if not, it's gonna look really bad. Render detail, I have it at custom because if I change any of these, or if I change this, it'll change my settings. So I have it at custom. And then I have 240 FPS. I can run 360, but 240 is still like decently smooth, so I just have it at there. Audio, it's my audio settings. Chat, they're my quick chats if you guys care. And then yeah. So let's get into these. Okay, so I use Epic Games, but I use Square Dead Zone through Steam. So if I go into here and then edit layout, go into joysticks, left joystick, you can see these are my Steam settings if you want to copy them. And then here I have Square Dead Zone. I have it at 18 and 50. So this would be like my controller dead zone, and this would be like my dodge dead zone. So if I change my in-game settings, then it would be like it would add on to this. So if I did like 0.05 for my controller dead zone, it would be 18.05 and on and on. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Then I have square dead zone, and then this is just I don't know what this is. I just have it at this. Okay, and yeah, so there's one more thing, and you want to go into here and search up I use the Gamester G7SC. So, and there's an app with it. So, gotta open up. And then this is my settings for the controller. Vibrations off. My triggers, 5, 95, 100, 0. I'm pretty sure this is just default because does your triggers don't really matter in Rocket League. The sticks, I have it at raw so it doesn't mess with the Steam input. And then 0, 100, 100, 0 because um this is just it's better to have it at this because it's more accurate. And then this is just default. And then right stick 40, 100 because you might have a little bit of stick drift on the right stick just because of the dead zone. So you could change it in the app, which is cool. And then same thing here, same thing here. All right, so I'm gonna get into my presets now. All right, we're back in Rocket League, so it's time to get into presets. Let me get to my first Fennec first. All right, this is my Fennec number 1. So we have default Fennec. You have default Fennec, no decal. Here, if you want to copy it, and a nice pearl glossy. If you want to copy it, and a nice pearl glossy. And then we have T-white zombas with it because it just looks nice. Switch back to blue car. And then I have bubbles boost. Let me make that stop playing. Hold on, let me turn down my game audio because this is really loud. Okay. Okay, so I have bubbles boost on, but it shows us alpha boost because if you search up Yonder on YouTube, shout out to him. Um, he has a tutorial on how to get alpha boost with, and it's not bannable or anything. All you have to do is just change the files so the alpha boost texture and sound will overwrite the bubbles boost texture, and it'll change bubbles boost into alpha boost. So that's why I have it like that. And then no topper, no antenna. I have dueling dragons, and then luminoise. I think that's how you say it. And then default sound. And then I'll go through a couple of them. Octane, normal octane with the new Brazil decal. Reapers, titanium right Reapers, alpha boost, and dueling dragons, and classic. And then this is my Jinxie one. I have the Jinxie decal, normal Fennec, Cristianos with alpha boost. And then this one's my favorite one of my favorites. I have normal Fennec, none, and a nice pearl glossy, and a nice pearl glossy, and then it's this if you want to copy. This. And then this one for orange. And also this one. And then I have normal Cristianos, um, the bubbles boost, alpha boost, none, none, classic, and this is the goal explosion, dueling dragons. And then this is another one that I really like. Normal Fennec, Bluster Bar, and a nice pearl glossy, and a nice pearl glossy. Then here if you want to copy, then black, and here if you want to copy, and then black. TY Zombas, the bubbles boost, alpha boost, none, none, dueling dragons, and then classic. And that's all I'm gonna go through today. Um, although I can also do this one, which I use sometimes. Bluster bar, and a nice pro, and a nice, and a nice pro, and a nice. Then just this black, and then this red, and then black. And then Cristianos, with crimson on red, and then sky blue on blue, and then nothing, nothing, dueling dragons, and classic. And those are my settings, my presets. If you enjoyed, be free to like up, um, share this with other people so they have these settings, you know. These are some pretty good settings. I really enjoyed using them, and they did help me reach champions. So yeah, I'd use them. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.